On our first day, we hiked from the South Lake trailhead to one of the lower Treasure Lakes. The trail is easy and well marked, and we hiked for 5.2 kilometers, or roughly 3 miles, and an ascent of 390 meters, or 1,300 feet, and a minor descent of 120 meters, or 400 feet. In the afternoon, we did a short hike up to Upper Treasure Lake on a very faint trail to check out the trail conditions of Hurt Col. Ultimately, we decided to not hike over Hurt Col, considering our heavy backpacks and the challenging Class 2 terrain. Hurt Col is a great viewpoint, but as you will see later on, Chocolate Peak provides equal and, in my opinion, actually better views of this spectacular part of the eastern Sierra Mountains. On our second day, we retraced our steps back to the trail junction of the Bishop Pass Trail and hiked further up to Saddle Rock Lake, where we turned right and found one of our favorite campsites empty. This was a 8.9 kilometer or 5.6 mile hike with an elevation gain of 470 meters or 1,600 feet and an elevation loss of 330 meters or 1,100 feet. The trail is easy and basically follows the main trail up to Bishop Pass. In the afternoon, we explored the area around Saddle Rock Lake, which is one of my favorite areas in the Sierras because you're surrounded by very scenic mountains like Cloud Ripper of the Inconsolable Range, Mount Agassiz, and Mount Good and Mount No Good. On our third day, we hiked back to Long Lake, took a right turn to Ruau Lake, and started the Chocolate Loop Trail. The trail is easy and well marked only in the beginning, but becomes pretty quickly very faint and sometimes technically difficult. Halfway on our way to the Chocolate Lakes, we took a left turn and then hiked and climbed up to Chocolate Peak, which is an amazing eagle's nest-like panoramic viewpoint. The descent and the further trail to the upper Chocolate Lake was the most challenging part of the trip. We actually camped at the upper Chocolate Lake, surrounded by the Inconsolable Range and Chocolate Peak. The hike was 6.8 kilometers or 4.3 miles long, with an ascent of 340 meters or 1100 feet and a descent of 360 meters or 1200 feet. On our last day, we had an easy hike out from the upper Chocolate Lake to our trailhead at South Lake. The trail was still a little bit sketchy in the beginning, but got a lot easier once we met the main Bishop Pass trail. The distance was 4.9 kilometers or 3 miles with an elevation loss of 420 meters or 1400 feet. If Chocolate Peak is your main goal, then all of this, of course, can be done as a day hike, but then you miss out on all the other great lakes and places in this very scenic area, which only a multi-day backpacking trip can provide.